Hello, CryptoWisers. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Milton, and I will be your captain for this episode. So as I promised in my video yesterday, which is this one here, new DeFi hub, Binance Smart Chain, today I'm going to be revealing my Binance Smart Chain top 5 DeFi projects. And I gotta say, CryptoWisers, this was not easy. I think there's a lot of cool stuff being built on Binance Smart Chain. And something is definitely happening here. Over the last few days, there has been a ton of liquidity flooding into Binance Smart Chain projects. Something is definitely in the air. You got a lot of smart money moving to Binance Smart Chain. So you don't want to be left out. A lot of these projects have grown a lot over the last few months, but it is still super early over here in this Binance ecosystem. And after trying to make a few trades over the Ethereum network yesterday, I gotta say, I am dying for an alternative where the fees aren't so high so I can play around with stuff again. It has become impossible to do that on Ethereum right now. Lots of really cool stuff and a lot of fun to be had on the Binance Smart Chain. So get ready, kids. I am going to be throwing a bunch of projects your way in today's video. And of course, safety first. Buckle up, because this is going to be another exciting episode of CryptoWise. All right, CryptoWisers, let's get into this, shall we? These are Milty's top 5 Binance Smart Chain DeFi picks. As I showed you on yesterday's video, this is DeFi Station, defistation.io. This is the DeFi pulse of the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. This is a key resource to see and track the liquidity that is pouring into these projects. Obviously, for any DeFi project to be successful, it needs liquidity. And the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem is getting just that, especially in the last few days. Even just since I posted my video yesterday, this ecosystem has grown about 200 million in liquidity in 24 hours. All right, let's do this in no particular order. My first project, let's get the easiest out of the way first. And yes, that is PancakeSwap. So there are a few swapping protocols on Binance Smart Chain. These are essentially the Uniswaps of Binance Smart Chain, but I gotta say, PancakeSwap is the most popular right now, and I can see why. I'm not gonna do a deep dive into these projects, guys. It would just take way too long for me to do that. But in future videos, I will zero in on some of these projects and do deeper dives for you. So in the comments, let me know which one of these projects you would prefer me to do a deep dive video on. But all you really need to know, PancakeSwap is like Uniswap, but it also has farming. So it's actually more like SushiSwap than Uniswap. But they've done a really great job here. As you can see, you can swap tokens. You can add liquidity. They have a link here to the Binance Bridge, which I showed you in yesterday's video. And then here are the farming pools. And you can see some of these APRs are very high. You got 200%, you got 600%. But you can even get some great return on really high quality Ethereum projects and other projects like Elrond and Dot. You know, Milty loves his Polkadot. And here in this Polkadot pool, for example, if you put some liquidity in Polkadot and BNB, you can then farm it here and farm Cake at 96%. And Cake is the native token for PancakeSwap. Here it is. It's at $2.51 right now, up almost 20% in the last 24 hours. It has a market cap of just under 270 million, trading volume almost 50 million. But as you can see, this project has been on fire, and this is all about usage and liquidity. The more people using this, the more value PancakeSwap will have. And you can see from late January, it was sitting under $1, way under, at 70 cents-ish, and it hit an all-time high of 284 and now sitting at 251. And the great thing about a lot of these projects, obviously, is the tokens. A lot of the tokens are traded on Binance. So you can farm for Cake on PancakeSwap and then take your Cake and sell it on Binance. Not too shabby. Anyway, guys, PancakeSwap is our first pick. Let's move right along. Well, I might as well continue with the big boys and go right to number 1. And number 1 in terms of locked liquidity is Venus. It's a decentralized marketplace for lenders and borrowers. And it also has its own stablecoin, Vi. So this is very similar to the automated money markets that you will find on the Ethereum network. This is what it looks like inside of the app. You can provide liquidity and earn interest, or you can borrow assets and pay interest. And as you can see here, since February, the liquidity has been going crazy. 623 million. It was only at 435 million at the end of January. So you can see here the liquidity change on a daily basis. The BNB value that is locked on a 24-hour basis. Still super early for these projects compared to the Ethereum equivalent, but they are growing fast. The native Venus token is the XVS token. It's sitting in at around $15.50, just under. And as you can see, up 46% in the last day. Market cap of 125 million. Volume 36 million. These projects are no longer secrets, people. The smart money is flowing in. Milty definitely wishes he had explored this world a month earlier, but unfortunately I didn't. I'm like you guys, just coming to it now. But the more of us that discover it, the more of us who are sick of paying ETH fees and come over here, these projects have way more growth potential. So Venus is number 2 of our top 5, the XVS token. And again, it trades on Binance. Obviously, we got to be careful. I think there's a lot of growth potential even in the short term because of these gas prices, but any token that has had over 300% growth in the last 30 days, you got to be careful. We are literally at all-time highs right now for Venus. All right, guys, moving right along. Pick number 3 of 5, again, in no particular order. I was contemplating going with Beefy.finance, but because it's number 3 and I picked number 1 and 2 already, I'm going to go a bit further down the list. I'm going to go for number 15, Anyswap. And as you can see, something is going on crazy here because as of yesterday, the liquidity went from 250 million and now it's sitting at 624 million. Okay, that's an increase of 60% in one day in the liquidity. I'm not quite sure what happened yesterday, but something clearly did. So the cool thing about Anyswap is that it's a fully decentralized cross-chain swap protocol with automated pricing and liquidity system. Anyswap enables swaps between any coins on any blockchain, but they have to use the ECDSA or the EDDSA signature algorithm. But those include BTC, ETH, BNB, USDT, XRP, and a whole bunch of others. So very cool project here. And here's a look inside the dApp. You can see here the swapping mechanism. I've got my Binance Smart Chain network attached with my MetaMask here. I'm not going to actually do a swap, but as you can see, I could swap my BNB here. And if I wanted, I could swap for any of these tokens. And what I love about this site is that it really clearly marks what network the token is on. So down here, you see the Binance. This is the Binance pegged Bitcoin, BTCB. And they also have an AnyBTC, which is the wrapped Bitcoin. For Anyswap, it's a BEP-20 token. So they're pretty clear here on what network each of these different tokens is on, because of course you'll recognize tokens like Uni. You can't get actual Uniswap on here, but you can get the pegged Uniswap BEP-20 token. So I'll definitely be curious to see how this works when they start doing more of the cross-chain swapping. They also have farming here. As you'll notice with a lot of the Binance projects, a lot of them have farming pools within them, and they have their own bridge here on Anyswap. As you might have guessed, Anyswap's token is called Any, ANY, and it is up almost 300% in one day. Guys, this is what I was talking about. I don't know what is happening with Anyswap. Someone maybe in the comments can let me know what happened yesterday, but it went crazy. Let's look at this chart. This is the 24-hour chart. As you can see, it was at 28 cents last night. And now we are sitting at close to $1. Now, When Anyswap launched in September, it was actually way higher than these recent prices. It launched in over $1, so it is just starting to climb back to that range. I'll definitely be watching. You can see here also the volume was super low, and this is actually a Binance project that's not available on Binance because it is a cross-chain swapping platform. They're not really selling themselves as a Binance Smart Chain project. They are more of a cross-chain project that is hoping to be able to work with all of the different chains. All right, guys, let's move on to number 4. And number 4 is actually not on this list. This is a bit of a cheat, guys. I kind of teased it yesterday because I made a couple of videos on this project about 2 months ago, and that's these videos here. One is on Thorchain, and the other one is how to use Bepswap. So if you don't know, Thorchain is the Rune token, and Rune has been on fire the last couple of months. I mean, really, what hasn't? But when I made those videos, Rune was in at around $1. It is now up almost to $4. The reason why this is a bit of a cheat is that they built their testnet, Bepswap, on the Binance Smart Chain. And as you can see here on the website, they even say Bepswap is Uniswap for Binance Chain. But this is only temporary. They are going to be blockchain agnostic when the mainnet comes out, and it's being teased a lot. It sounds like it's getting close to coming out. It's my understanding that they're going to be moving over to that mainnet, and I'm not sure that Bepswap will exist anymore. But I have to say, I have loved my experience on Bepswap. I'm in a couple of pools, and unlike Uniswap, what happens on Bepswap is you can deposit one token and it automatically turns half of it into the Rune token. So for example, if you wanted to join this Binance Chain native token BNB pool, okay, all you would have to do is deposit BNB. Half of it automatically turns into Rune. And as you can see right now, the APY for this pool is at 84%. So I have really loved this project. I gotta say, it's done really well for me, guys, since I joined. I'm super excited for Thorchain to come out with their mainnet. And Rune itself, the token, I have been amazed at how many of my friends who are not into crypto have asked me about Rune. It does seem to be out there in the ecosystem in a way that a lot of the altcoins aren't. So number 4 is my cheat pick, Thorchain Rune and their Bepswap testnet. But they lead me right into my number 5 pick. And that is on this list again, and it is number 10, Spartan Protocol. Because Spartan seems to be very similar to Thorchain and Rune. It's a really interesting product. It's a protocol for incentivized liquidity and synthetic assets on the Binance Smart Chain. And one of the really interesting things about Sparta was their token distribution. Unlike almost every other crypto project coming out, there was no pre-sale, there was no venture capitalists, angel investors. They don't even have any team tokens. That's right, you heard that right. They did not allocate any tokens to the team. Like Thorchain, it's an anonymous team, and I was very skeptical of Thorchain because of that, and I'm usually very skeptical of these anonymous teams. But because Sparta is so close to Thorchain, and my experience so far in getting to know the Thorchain community and using that product, I'm so intrigued by Sparta. So as you can see, there's a 300 million Sparta total max supply, and this is the token distribution. You will never see one like this again. 2 categories: initial distribution, network incentives. So you see up here, 0% retained by the team, 0% for the developer fund, 0% for founding team, 0% for early investors and advisors. This is a really unique way to distribute a token. So what they did, if you go on here in their FAQs, it's a little bit dated, but they answer all these questions. No airdrop, no founder team tokens, no pre-sale. The only way for anyone to have access to Sparta tokens is by burning selected ERC-20 tokens. So this is how it worked. There were about 30 projects, I believe. And if you had tokens for those projects, and they were all Binance Smart Chain projects, you could burn those tokens and turn them into Sparta. Now, that phase has closed. All the tokens that were dedicated to that are now gone. So now the way to get Sparta, very much like Rune, is to join any of their pools. And Thorchain comes up a couple of times in these FAQs. It says that the Spartan protocol borrows ideas from Anyswap, Thorchain, Synthetics, MakerDAO, and Vader Feather. But it's launched on the Binance Smart Chain as its own separate protocol. So that's one mention of Thorchain there. And then again, when it says, why does Spartan need to be the settlement asset in every pool? It says the Spartan protocol is a liquidity protocol. First foundation of Spartan is its liquidity pool, similar to Uniswap, but instead of a fixed rate fee model, it uses a liquidity sensitive fee similar to Thorchain's slip-based fees. So this is very much the Thorchain of the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. And although I've really loved using Thorchain so far, I will caution any team that is anonymous, you have to be very cautious. But I had been watching Thorchain for a while. I was really intrigued by it, but scared off by the fact that it was an anonymous team. And obviously that really cost me when last summer I could have got in the 30-cent range. I waited until it got to $1. And look, I'm not unhappy, but would have been great to get in earlier. And so that's why I'm intrigued about Spartan. It's so early still. I'm definitely going to be playing around with it. But as always, be very cautious. Only risk money you are willing to lose. And remember, CryptoWise is not financial advice. I repeat, CryptoWise, it's not financial advice. We're just a couple of wise guys talking crypto. So you do your own research, you do you. All right, guys, technically that's my top 5, but I'm going to give you one bonus project because I kind of cheated with Bepswap. And again, for this one, I am going off the board, and that project is AutoFarm. AutoFarm.network. Another amazing crypto YouTuber named Denome talked about this in one of his recent videos, so I won't go too in depth in it, but just to let you know, this is a place you can come and get extra APY for your LP tokens. So as you can see here, this is the farm. So if you're farming, so if you go to Venus and you're part of any pools on Venus or PancakeSwap or $, those are the 3 ones they have right now. You can come here, put your LP tokens in here, and get extra yield. Now, of course, this is riskier, so just be very careful with these sorts of platforms. And AutoFarm isn't the only one on Binance Smart Chain doing this sort of thing. So I definitely recommend that you look into this idea of farming and yield farming on Binance Smart Chain. You can do it on the actual platform like a PancakeSwap, or you can also do it on something like this, which is like a secondary market for farming, I guess, on AutoFarm. And a couple of big ones also to have on your radar that did not make the top 5, mostly because I didn't want to just go 1 to 5 on the list, is Beefy Finance and Cream Finance. Both really cool projects, so make sure they're on your radar as well. All right, guys, that's it. That is my top 5, maybe 6, even kind of 8 Binance Smart Chain projects. Cannot stress this enough. These were not deep dives into these projects, so make sure you do your own research. This is just to kind of get you inspired, to give you some information on the kind of things that are out there, and then you go on and do research before you put your money into these things. But I want to know from you, are you using any of these projects? What did I miss? What Binance Smart Chain project do you love that I did not talk about in this video? As always, leave Milty a comment in the comment section. I try my best to get back to all you CryptoWisers. And if you found this video valuable, would you please give Milty the old thumbs up? And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and, of course, hitting that notification button, because crypto moves fast. And some of these videos you need to watch right away. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. As always, my name is Milton. Until next time, over and out.